The baby monitor app I installed for our future nursery was still running, except it wasn't a baby I was watching. It was my fiancé with another man. I need you to understand something. I'm not the kind of person who checks phones or hires investigators. I trusted Sarah completely. We'd been together 3 years, engaged for 8 months. The wedding was in 5 days. 5 days. It was Thursday night, 11:47 p.m. I was working late at home, finishing our quarterly report for the company I co-founded with my best friend Marcus. My laptop sat on the kitchen counter, screen already glowing when I walked in. I'd left it open that morning, some update had restarted it, and when it came back on, every app reopened automatically, including the baby monitor app. We'd installed it 2 weeks ago. Sarah's idea. She wanted to test it before we actually needed it, make sure we knew how it worked. Practice for when we're parents, she'd said, laughing, installing it on both our phones. I'd forgotten it was even there, but it was there, still synced, still recording. The screen showed her phone's camera view, a hotel room, dim lighting. I recognized the lamp, that brass one with the cream shade. The Peninsula Hotel downtown, where her bachelorette party was happening. She wasn't alone. I stood there, frozen, watching my fiancé in bed with someone else. The angle was wrong. Her phone was on the nightstand, camera facing the room. She didn't know it was streaming. Neither did he. My throat closed. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. This couldn't be real. Then I heard his voice. I'd heard that laugh 1,000 times. At my dinner table, at my parents' funeral, at my engagement party where he'd given the toast about how Sarah and I were meant to be. Marcus, my business partner of 6 years, my best man. The room tilted. I gripped the counter to stay upright. The app was recording everything, every sound, every word. The green light in the corner of my screen pulsed steadily. Always recording, always witnessing. I should have closed it. Should have thrown the laptop across the room. Should have driven to that hotel but I didn't. Because even through the shock, through the part of my brain that was screaming, a quieter voice said, "Document this." My hand moved to the screen record button. I didn't think, I just pressed it. The timestamp appeared in the corner. 11:47 p.m., May 15th, 2025. Sarah's voice came through the speakers, tipsy and laughing. "The bridesmaids think I'm in the bathroom. We've got maybe 20 minutes. Marcus laughed, that easy, confident laugh I knew so well. 20 minutes? I need at least 30. Greedy. You love it. She did. That was clear. I recorded for 3 minutes before my hands started shaking so badly I had to sit down. 3 minutes of watching my entire future disintegrate. The wedding was in 5 days. The venue was booked. 200 guests had their invitations. My mother's engagement ring, 3 generations old, was on her finger right now. Was on her finger while I forced myself to breathe, to think. The bridesmaids started cheering in the background. Somebody yelled, "Get it, girl!" They all knew. Every single one of them knew. Sarah had 6 bridesmaids. I'd paid for their dresses, their hair and makeup appointments, the party bus that took them to the hotel, and they were cheering. I opened a new folder on my laptop, named it Evidence. Started organizing, screenshot, timestamp, save, screenshot, timestamp, save. The blue glow of the screen lit up my face in the dark kitchen. Outside, the neighborhood slept. Inside, my life was ending, and I was cataloging it with military precision. Rage is fire, but revenge is ice. And I was freezing over. By 12:30 a.m., I had 47 screenshots, 2 video files, and a decision. I wasn't going to react. I was going to prepare. I called my friend Jake, the IT specialist. He answered on the 3rd ring, groggy. "Daniel, it's almost 1 a.m. I need your help. No questions right now, just help." Something in my voice must have convinced him. "What do you need?" "Cloud backup, everything from my laptop, encrypted, and I need you to show me how to extract metadata from video files." Silence, then, "You're scaring me, man." "Good. That means you understand this is serious." He stayed on the phone with me for 2 hours. By 2:47 a.m., everything was backed up in the 3 separate locations, the original files, the metadata showing exact timestamps, GPS coordinates from Sarah's phone, device information, everything that would prove this wasn't edited or faked. Because I knew what was coming. I knew Sarah. When this came out, she'd say I doctored the footage. She'd cry and claim I was trying to frame her. She'd make herself the victim. Not this time. Hour 3 of recording. That's when she said the words that changed everything. One of the bridesmaids burst into the room. I heard the door slam, heard giggling. "Sarah! Oh my God, you have to see this. Jessica just..." She stopped. I heard her gasp. "Oh shit, sorry," Sarah laughed. "It's fine, Emma. You've seen worse at my place." "Girl, you are bad. Does Daniel know you're this wild?" "Daniel?" Sarah's voice was different now, colder. "Daniel thinks I'm an angel. Sweet little Sarah who wants babies and a white picket fence." Marcus spoke up. "The man has no idea what he's got." "He's got a bank account, Marcus. That's what he's got." They all laughed. My bridesmaids, women I'd welcomed into my home, laughed. Emma's voice again. "I still can't believe you pulled off the pregnancy thing. That was genius." My blood went cold. Sarah giggled. "The pregnancy test was fake, girls. Expired one from Amazon. You can buy them in bulk. They always show positive. You just need to know how to fake the tears when you show them." "And he believed you?" "Of course he believed me. Men want to believe. It makes them feel needed, protective." I cried, told him I was scared, and boom, suddenly he's talking about moving the wedding up, making sure I'm taken care of. His words. Marcus cut in. "And the inheritance cleared? Last week, $2.3 million from his dead mommy's estate. My mother, she died 14 months ago. Cancer. I'd held her hand while Sarah kept talking. "Daniel's so sentimental about family money. We'll use it to build our life, Sarah. Mom would want that." "It's honestly pathetic." "But effective," Marcus said. "Extremely effective." I stopped the recording. My hands wouldn't work anymore. The room spun. She wasn't pregnant. She never was. My inheritance, my mother's life savings, 3 generations of my family's hard work, cleared last week. The same week Sarah suddenly wanted to speed up the wedding planning and suggested we put the money in a joint account for our future. No love, no baby, just money. I sat in that dark kitchen until sunrise. The laptop screen went dark. The neighborhood started waking up. Birds, distant traffic, someone's sprinkler system. Normal sounds for a normal Friday morning, except nothing would ever be normal again. At 6:15 a.m., I heard Sarah's key in the front door. She came in smiling, hair perfect, makeup fresh like she'd just done it. Professional. She'd probably stopped at a hotel bathroom to clean up, make herself look like she'd been at a wholesome bachelorette party. "Good morning, handsome." She set down her overnight bag, walked over, kissed my cheek. I could smell her perfume, the expensive one I'd bought her for Christmas. "You're up early? Couldn't sleep?" I smiled back. The smile felt like it was cracking my face. Just excited. 5 more days. 5 more days until forever. She squeezed my hand, looking into my eyes with perfect sincerity. An Oscar-worthy performance. I squeezed back. She moved to the coffee maker, started our morning routine. "Want your usual? I'll make it just how you like it." That would be perfect. She made coffee, extra cream, no sugar, exactly how I've always taken it. She'd always remembered the little things, the small gestures that make someone feel loved, feel seen. I guess that's what made her such an effective liar. She handed me the mug, my favorite one, the blue one with "World's Best Son" that my mom had given me, and smiled. "What do you want to do today? We could finalize the seating chart, or just relax. You look tired." "Seating chart sounds good." "Perfect." She kissed me again, longer this time. "I love you so much, Daniel. I can't wait to be your wife." "Me too," I said. She pulled back, studied my face. "You okay? You seem distant." I shook my head, managed a laugh. "Just nervous, big week." "The biggest." She touched my face, her engagement ring catching the morning light. 3 stones, princess cut center diamond, baguettes flanking. My grandmother's, my mother's. 3 generations of women who'd loved truly, never hers. "I'm going to jump in the shower," she said. "Then we can tackle that seating chart. 5 more days, baby." 5 more days. She kissed me goodbye for the bathroom, and I watched her go, watched her hips sway in that way she knew I liked. Performance. Every movement calculated. I looked down at my coffee. Steam rose in delicate spirals. The kitchen was warm with morning light. Outside, someone was mowing their lawn. The weekend starting just like every weekend. But I had work to do. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to my contacts, found the name I needed. Rebecca Chen, family law attorney. My mom had used her for estate planning. I texted, "Emergency appointment needed, today if possible. We'll explain in person." She responded in 3 minutes, 2 p.m., my office. See you then. I heard the shower start upstairs, Sarah singing. Some pop song about true love. I opened my laptop again. The evidence folder stared back at me. 47 files. The truth. Organized and time-stamped. Rebecca Chen's office was on the 14th floor of a glass building downtown. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the city. I'd been here once before, with my mother, when she was setting up her will. Rebecca had been kind then, patient with Mom's questions about trusts and beneficiaries. Now she sat across from me, hands folded on her mahogany desk, waiting. I pulled out the USB drive, silver, 64 GB. I'd labeled it in my own handwriting that morning. The truth, Zarov, Spin 17, 2025. The weight of it in my palm felt lighter than it should for what it carried. Before you look at this, I said, I need to know it's protected, attorney-client privilege, all of it. Rebecca's expression didn't change. The moment you contacted me for legal representation, privilege attached. Nothing leaves this room without your permission. She paused. Daniel, you're scaring me. What's going on? I slid the USB drive across the desk. She plugged it into her computer. I watched her face as she opened the first file, the timestamp, the video. 3 minutes of it. I'd edited out the explicit parts, left only the audio, the conversation. Her expression shifted. Professional mask to shock to something harder. Anger, maybe, or disgust. She watched in silence. When Sarah's voice said, Daniel thinks I'm an angel, Rebecca's jaw tightened. When the fake pregnancy part came up, she closed her eyes briefly. When my inheritance was mentioned, $2.3 million from his dead mommy's estate, Rebecca stopped the video. Jesus Christ, she looked at me. Daniel, I'm so sorry. I need to know my options, legally. The wedding is in 4 days. You're still going through with it? No, I leaned forward. I'm going to stop it, but I need to do this right. She has my inheritance in a joint account. We have a prenup. I need to know how to protect myself. Rebecca's fingers flew across her keyboard. Send me the prenup, right now. I did. I'd scanned it that morning, saved it to the cloud, the document she and Sarah had insisted on 8 months ago. Just to protect both of us, Sarah had said. It's not romantic, but it's smart. Smart. Right. Rebecca opened the PDF. 23 pages, blue-backed legal document, official stamps and notary seals. She read in silence. 1 page, 2, 3. On page 16, she stopped. Her face went pale. Daniel? Her voice was different now, tight, controlled. This prenup. Did you have your own attorney review it? Sarah said her lawyer drafted it as a gift, to save us money. She said it was standard. It's not standard. Rebecca turned the monitor toward me. Look at Clause 7, I read. Legal language, dense and confusing. Something about marital property and inheritance received during engagement period and dissolution within 24 months. I don't understand. It means if you divorce her within 2 years of marriage, any inheritance you receive during your engagement becomes marital property, community property. She gets half. Rebecca's finger stabbed at the screen. Your mother died 14 months ago. The inheritance cleared last week. If you married Sarah and divorced her within 2 years, which, based on this evidence, was absolutely her plan, she'd walk away with $1.15 million minimum. The room tilted. But there's more, Rebecca said. She scrolled down. Clause 7, subsection B. In the event of dissolution within 24 months, inheritance funds deposited into joint accounts shall be presumed as marital contributions and subject to equal division unless proven otherwise by clear and convincing evidence. She had me put it in a joint account last week. Of course she did. Rebecca pulled up another screen. Who drafted this prenup? I need the attorney's name. I found the signature page. James Thornton, Esco. Rebecca typed the name into a search bar. Her eyes narrowed. James Thornton, partner at Thornton and Associates. She clicked another link. Brother of Marcus Thornton. The world stopped. Your business partner Marcus, his brother drafted your prenup? I couldn't speak. Rebecca kept typing. They've done this before. Look. She turned the screen again. Court records. Marcus Thornton, divorced 2019. Previous wife, Catherine Harlow. Wealthy family. Marriage lasted 18 months. Settlement. She paid him $340,000. He was married and divorced. And before that, more typing. Engaged twice. Both times to women from wealthy families. Both engagements ended right before the wedding. She looked at me. Daniel, this isn't random. This isn't passion. This is a business model. Not random, not passion, just premeditated theft. I thought about Marcus. 6 years of partnership. Every Friday night dinner at my place. Every holiday. He'd held me when Mom died, told me she'd be proud of me. He'd been planning this, planning her. Maybe for months, maybe for years. The prenup was drafted 8 months ago, Rebecca said. 2 months after your mother died, before your engagement was even official. She pulled up a calendar. Your inheritance was scheduled to clear in May. You proposed in September. The wedding was scheduled for May 22nd. She looked at me. They timed everything perfectly. If you've ever realized the signs were there all along, you know this feeling. Like looking at a photo and suddenly seeing the monster hiding in the background. It was always there. You just weren't looking. What do I do? My voice sounded far away. First, we protect your assets. Today. Right now. Rebecca was already typing. I'm filing an emergency motion to freeze the joint account. Judge Morrison owes me a favor. We'll have it done by end of business. Will that hold up? With this evidence, absolutely. She gestured at her computer. This isn't a he said, she said situation. This is her own voice admitting to fraud. Admitting the pregnancy was fake. Admitting she targeted you for your money. And the wedding. Rebecca leaned back. That's your call. You could cancel it quietly, ghost her, disappear, or... She paused. Or you could let her show up to a wedding that isn't happening and confront her publicly, with evidence. Public. It's risky. She could claim harassment. But with your evidence properly documented, with witnesses present, with everything recorded, Rebecca smiled thinly. Some people need to be exposed, not for revenge, but so they can't do it to someone else. I thought about Marcus's ex-wife, about the other women, about whoever might come after me. I want to expose them. Then we do this right. Legal, clean, airtight. She pulled out a notepad. Tell me everything, every detail, every conversation, every red flag you ignored. I talked for an hour. Rebecca took notes, asked questions, built a timeline. When I mentioned the baby monitor app, she actually laughed. That's admissible. One-party consent state. You own the app, she installed it voluntarily. Everything recorded is legal evidence. When I mentioned the bridesmaids knowing, she made a note. Witnesses to conspiracy. Good. When I finished, she sat back. Daniel, I want to bring in an investigator, someone who can dig into Marcus's background, his finances, his other relationships. If they've done this before, there's a pattern. Patterns are prosecutable. Do it? It'll cost... I don't care. Do it. She nodded, made a call. Richard, Rebecca Chen, I need a full workup. Financial forensics, relationship history, business dealings. Target, Marcus Thornton, age 34, co-owner of Apex Software Solutions. She paused. How fast? I need it in 72 hours. Another pause. Triple your usual rate. This is priority 1. She hung up. He'll have preliminary findings by Sunday. The wedding is Monday. I know. She smiled. Perfect timing. Sunday afternoon, Rebecca called. Come to the office, now. Richard found something. I drove in silence. Sarah thought I was at a bachelor party, a small lunch with college friends. She'd kissed me goodbye that morning, told me to have fun, not to drink too much. I need you handsome for our big day, she'd said. Rebecca's office? Same windows, same view. But now there was a man I didn't know. Richard something, the investigator. 50-ish, gray hair, the kind of face that had seen everything. He shook my hand. Mr. Caldwell, I'm sorry for what you're going through. What did you find? He opened a folder. Thick. Full of papers, photos, printouts. Marcus Thornton has a pattern. 3 serious relationships in the past 7 years. All with women from wealthy families. All ended with him receiving money. He spread photos across the desk. 3 women, different ages, different looks, but all with the same thing in common: expensive jewelry, designer clothes, the subtle markers of wealth. Catherine Harlow, divorced 2019, paid him $340,000 in the settlement. Richard pointed to another photo. Jennifer Moss, engaged 2020. Engagement ended 3 weeks before the wedding. She paid him $50,000 to reimburse wedding expenses. Another photo. Amanda Chen, no relation to Ms. Chen here, engaged 2017. Relationship ended when she discovered him cheating. She paid him $75,000 in a settlement to keep it quiet. He's done this 3 times, 4 if you count your fiancé, and it's always the same pattern. Richard pulled out a timeline. He befriends a successful man with family money, usually someone in business. He becomes the trusted confidant, the best friend. Then he waits for an opportunity, death of a parent, inheritance coming through, and he moves in on the fiancé or girlfriend. I felt sick. Here's the interesting part, Rebecca cut in. She pulled up a document on her computer. Marcus has been slowly embezzling from your business for 8 months. Small amounts, $5,000 here, $3,000 there. Always just under the threshold that would trigger an audit alert. How much? Total, $47,000. All moved to an offshore account. She turned to the screen. An account with 2 authorized signatories, Marcus Thornton and Sarah Williams. Sarah, my Sarah, who didn't even work for the company, who had no legitimate reason to be on any business account. When did he add her? 9 months ago, right after your mother's funeral. I stood up, walked to the window. The city stretched out below. Thousands of people living their normal lives, getting coffee, walking dogs, not discovering that their entire relationship was a con. Richard spoke quietly. Mr. Caldwell, I spoke to Marcus's ex-wife, Catherine. She agreed to testify. She said when she discovered what he was doing, he threatened her. Said he'd ruin her reputation if she talked. She paid him to keep quiet and walked away. He paused. She's been waiting 5 years for someone to stop him. Will she come to the wedding? Richard smiled. She'll be there. Monday morning, 11 a.m. The venue looked perfect. Jennifer, my wedding planner, had outdone herself. White roses everywhere, string lights wrapped around trees, chairs lined up in perfect rows. A white carpet rolled down the center aisle. The wedding was scheduled for 3 p.m. I'd told Jennifer to keep everything as planned. She'd looked at me strangely, but agreed. Whatever you need, Daniel. Now she approached me in the empty venue, clipboard in hand. Daniel, we need to talk. About what? She hesitated, looked around like someone might be listening. About Sarah. My stomach dropped. What about her? I wasn't going to say anything. It's not my business. But after Friday, when you asked me to keep everything set up even though you seemed off, I can't stay quiet. Friday? When you came to review the final details, you seemed different, distant, and I realized. She stopped. I need to show you something. She pulled out her phone, scrolled through photos, stopped on one. This is from March, when Sarah and I did the initial venue walkthrough. She showed me the image. Sarah, standing in front of the altar, smiling. Okay? Look at what's in her hand. I zoomed in. Papers, a contract. That's the venue booking agreement. I just handed it to her to review. Jennifer swiped to the next photo. And this is the weird part. Another photo, Sarah's purse open on a table. Inside, another contract. Same venue logo embossed in gold, but a different document. I thought it was strange, so Jennifer looked embarrassed. I looked at it while she was in the bathroom. It was another booking contract for this venue, same date, May 22nd. But the groom's name wasn't Daniel Caldwell. What was the name? Marcus Thornton. The world stopped again. Jennifer pulled out a folder from her bag. I made a copy. I shouldn't have, but something felt wrong. She had 2 contracts. One with your name, one with his. Both for the same day, same venue, same everything. She handed me the folder. I opened it. 2 contracts, identical in every way, except the groom's name. I don't know what's going on, Jennifer said quietly, but I thought you should know before you marry her. I looked at this woman, someone I'd hired 6 months ago, someone I barely knew, and felt an overwhelming wave of gratitude. Thank you for telling me. Are you going to cancel? No, I smiled. I'm going to let her arrive, in her dress, with her bridesmaids, with both our families watching, and then I'm going to show everyone who she really is. Jennifer's eyes widened. Daniel! I have evidence, legal evidence, attorney present, everything documented. I looked at the perfect venue, the white roses, the string lights. She wanted a big wedding. She's going to get one, just not the one she planned. Jennifer was quiet for a moment. Then she smiled, fierce and protective. What do you need me to do? Set up a projector, facing the altar. Make it look like it's for a slideshow presentation, something sentimental. I can do that. And Jennifer, I turned to her. Thank you for caring. You didn't have to. Yes, I did. She squeezed my arm. Some people need to be stopped before they hurt someone else. I have a sister. If someone did this to her... She didn't finish. Didn't need to. Type exposure if you support truth over reputation. Because here's what I learned. The truth doesn't care about comfort. It doesn't care about timing or convenience or who gets embarrassed. The truth cares about freedom. And I was about to set a lot of people free. That evening, I sat alone in my apartment. Tomorrow was the wedding. In 18 hours, Sarah would put on her dress, custom designer, $8,000. I'd paid for it. And head to the venue expecting to become my wife. Instead, she'd become a cautionary tale. I opened my laptop one more time, reviewed everything. The evidence files, the prenup analysis, the investigator's report, Catherine's testimony statement, the backup wedding contract. All of it organized, time-stamped, ready. My phone buzzed. Sarah, can't sleep, too excited. I love you so much. Tomorrow, we start forever. I stared at the message, wondered how she did it, how she typed those words knowing what she'd done, what she was planning to do. Then I remembered what she'd said on that recording. Men want to believe. I typed back, love you too, see you at the altar. Because I would see her there. We'd both be there. But only one of us knew how it would end. I put my phone down and pulled out a box from my desk drawer. Inside, a letter, cream-colored stationery, handwriting, slanting right. The paper soft from being folded and unfolded so many times. A faint stain in the corner, a tear, mine or hers, I'd never know. My mother's letter. She'd written it 2 weeks before she died. Given it to me in the hospital, her hands shaking from the medication. Don't read it now, she'd said. Read it when you need it most. I'd opened it the night after she passed, read it once, cried, and put it away. Too painful to look at again. But tonight, I needed it. I unfolded the pages, her voice preserved in ink. Danny, my sweet boy, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And I'm so sorry I'm not there with you. There are so many things I wanted to see. Your wedding, your children, your life unfolding the way you deserve. I'm leaving you money, more than you probably expected. 3 generations of our family worked for this. Your great-grandfather's pharmacy, your grandfather's investments, my careful savings. It's not just money, Danny. It's their dreams, their sacrifices, their love, turned into something tangible. Use it for real love, for building a life that honors what we built. Don't let anyone take what doesn't belong to them. You'll know real love when you find it. It won't ask for things. It won't need to be proven with money or gifts or grand gestures. Real love gives. It doesn't take. Real love doesn't cost you everything, Danny. It gives you everything that matters. I raised you to be good, to be kind, to trust people. Don't lose that, even when people prove they don't deserve it. The world needs more people like you. But also know this. Being kind doesn't mean being foolish. Trust, but verify. Love, but protect yourself. Give, but know when someone is only taking. I'm so proud of you. Whatever you're facing right now, whatever made you open this letter, you're strong enough to handle it. You're my son. You're 3 generations of strength. I love you forever. Mom. I folded the letter carefully. My hands were steady now. Tomorrow, I would honor her. Not with a wedding, not with the life Sarah had planned to steal, but with the truth. Mom's last line echoed, "You'll know real love when it doesn't cost you everything." Sarah had cost me my trust, my innocence, my belief that people were inherently good. But she hadn't cost me everything. I still had my mother's words, my integrity, my inheritance, frozen safely in legal limbo, protected by Rebecca's emergency motion. And I had one more day to make sure Sarah and Marcus never did this to anyone else. I put the letter back in its box, placed it carefully in my bag. Tomorrow, after everything, I'd take it somewhere safe. Maybe frame it. A reminder of what real love looked like. A reminder of what I was fighting for. Outside, the city prepared for Monday. People setting alarms, planning their weeks, living their normal lives. Inside, I sat in the darkness and waited for sunrise, for justice, for the wedding that would never be. Monday, May 22nd, 2:47 p.m. The venue was full, both families, friends, colleagues, 200 people in their best clothes, waiting for a wedding. Sarah wasn't here yet. The bride was fashionably late, expected, traditional. Her bridesmaids had texted updates. Getting ready. She looks amazing. On our way. I stood in the groom's preparation room with Rebecca and Richard. Through the window, I could see the guests. My father in the front row, nervous. Sarah's parents beaming. Marcus, my best man, checking his watch. He was wearing the tux I'd paid for, custom fitted, Italian wool. You don't have to do this, Rebecca said quietly. We can still cancel, send everyone home, handle this privately. No, I straightened my tie. Everyone needs to see. Daniel, how many other men has he done this to? How many we don't know about? I turned to face her. If I don't expose them now, publicly, with witnesses, they'll do it again. To someone else. Someone who might not have evidence. Someone who might not survive it. Rebecca nodded slowly. Okay, then let's make sure we do this right. She pulled out her phone. Judge Morrison granted the restraining order. Marcus can't access any business accounts as of 2 hours ago. The police have been notified. They're standing by outside if things get physical. They won't. Marcus is a coward. He only fights when he thinks he's winning. Richard checked his watch. Catherine just arrived. She's in the parking lot. I've briefed her. She's ready to come in when you give the signal. Catherine, Marcus's ex-wife, the woman who'd paid him to stay quiet 5 years ago, the woman who'd been waiting for this moment. My phone buzzed. Sarah's bridesmaid? Just pulled up. See you in 10. 10 minutes, I said. Everyone ready? Rebecca squeezed my shoulder. The projector is set up. Jennifer has the USB drive. When you give her the signal, everything will display. Audio, video, documents, all of it. And the prenup analysis? On slides 12 through 15, with the lawyer's name highlighted, James Thornton, Marcus's brother. I took a deep breath, looked at myself in the mirror, black tux, white shirt. My mother's engagement ring still in my pocket. I'd taken it back from Sarah's jewelry box this morning while she was at the salon. 3 stones, princess cut, 3 generations of real love, never hers. Let's go. The ceremony space was perfect. White roses, string lights, soft music playing. Everyone stood as I walked down the aisle to take my place at the altar. Smiles, waves. My father's eyes were wet. Marcus clapped me on the shoulder as I reached the front. Big moment, brother. You ready? I smiled, more ready than you know. The music changed. Everyone turned. The bridesmaids came first, in their lavender dresses, smiling, the ones who cheered while Sarah betrayed me, the ones who'd called it genius. Then Sarah appeared. She was beautiful, I had to admit that. White dress, fitted bodice, flowing skirt, veil delicate as mist. Her father held her arm, proud and beaming. She was radiant. She was also a liar. Our eyes met as she walked down the aisle. She smiled at me. Pure joy, perfect innocence. The woman who'd practiced this moment in mirrors, who'd perfected every gesture. She reached the altar. Her father kissed her cheek, shook my hand, took his seat. Sarah stood across from me, holding a bouquet of white roses, the same roses I'd watched her order, discussing each detail, pretending to care about our special day. The officiant, a friend from college, stepped forward. Welcome, everyone. We're gathered here today to witness the union of Sarah and Daniel in marriage. Actually, I said, we're not. The officiant stopped. Sarah's smile faltered. Daniel, we're gathered here today for something different. I turned to face the crowd, 200 faces staring at me, confused, concerned. We're here for the truth. Daniel, what are you? Sarah's voice was tight, controlled. but I heard the panic underneath. I gestured to Jennifer. She nodded, pressed a button. The projector screen behind the altar lit up. Timestamp, May 15th, 2025, 11:47 p.m. Audio played through the speakers. Sarah's voice, tipsy and laughing. Daniel thinks I'm an angel. Sweet little Sarah who wants babies and a white picket fence. The room went silent. Sarah's face drained of color. That's not... I held up a hand. Just listen. The recording continued. Her voice. The pregnancy test was fake, girls. Expired one from Amazon. They always show positive. You just need to know how to fake the tears. Gasps from the crowd. Sarah's mother stood up. What is this? The recording kept playing. Daniel's got a bank account. That's what he's got. Laughter. 2.3 million from his dead mommy's estate. My father made a sound, half sob, half rage. Marcus beside me went rigid. The recording and the inheritance cleared. Last week. Daniel's so sentimental about family money. It's honestly pathetic. I pressed another button. The screen changed. The prenup document appeared. Clause 7, highlighted in yellow. This is the prenuptial agreement Sarah insisted we sign 8 months ago, I said. My voice was steady, calm. It was drafted by James Thornton, attorney, brother of Marcus Thornton. I gestured to Marcus. My business partner, my best man, the man in that recording with my fiancé. The crowd erupted, voices overlapping. Sarah's father stood. This is insane. Is it? I clicked again. New image. The investigators report. Photos of Marcus with 3 different women. Marcus has done this 3 times before. Catherine Harlow, 2019. Jennifer Moss, 2020. Amanda Chen, 2017. All from wealthy families. All paid him to go away. Marcus moved toward the exit. Richard blocked his path. 2 police officers stepped into the doorway. Marcus Thornton, Officer Martinez said, "We need you to stay. We have questions about your business accounts." Marcus froze. I clicked again. Bank statements appeared on screen. For the past 8 months, Marcus has been embezzling from our company, $47,000, moved to an offshore account. Next slide. Account details. An account with 2 signatories, Marcus Thornton and Sarah Williams. Sarah's father turned to look at her. Sarah? She didn't answer. Couldn't. The evidence was everywhere, undeniable, damning. I clicked one more time. 2 venue contracts appeared side by side. Same venue, same date, different groom names. Sarah booked this venue twice. Once with my name, once with Marcus's. I looked at her. She was crying now, mascara running, performance tears. She wasn't sure which one of us would be more profitable, so she kept both options open. No wedding, no lies, just evidence. Sarah's mother pushed past people, reached the altar. She looked at her daughter. Tell me this isn't true. Tell me right now. Sarah opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. Mom, I can explain. Explain what? That you're a liar? A thief? Her mother's voice broke. That you used this man? Used his grief over his mother? It's not... Sarah looked at me, desperate. Daniel, please. We can talk about this. Privately. We can... No? I pulled the engagement ring from my pocket. My grandmother's ring. My mother's ring. This doesn't belong to you. It never did. I handed it to my father. He took it with shaking hands. Sarah grabbed my arm. Daniel, don't do this. Don't humiliate me like this. We can work through... Humiliate you! I pulled away. You humiliated yourself. I'm just showing people who you really are. Officer Martinez stepped forward. Ms. Williams, we need you to come with us. We have questions about fraud, conspiracy to commit theft. I didn't do anything illegal. Sarah's voice was shrill now, the mask completely gone. The prenup was legal. The account was joint. I didn't steal anything. Actually, Rebecca stepped forward, fraud includes obtaining money through false pretenses. You faked a pregnancy to manipulate Mr. Caldwell into marriage and into depositing his inheritance into a joint account. That's textbook fraud. Officer Martinez nodded. Ms. Williams, you have the right to remain silent. Wait. A woman's voice from the back. Everyone turned. Catherine Harlow walked down the aisle, older than Sarah, elegant, composed. She stopped at the altar, looked at Marcus. Hello, Marcus. Remember me? Marcus's face went gray. 5 years ago, You did this to me, Catherine said. Her voice carried clearly in the silent room. You befriended my fiancé. You seduced me. You convinced me to put money in a joint account. And when I discovered what you were doing, you threatened to destroy my reputation if I didn't pay you to stay quiet. She turned to the crowd. I paid him $340,000 to make him go away. I was ashamed, embarrassed. I thought it was my fault. She looked at Sarah. It wasn't my fault, and it's not his fault either. She gestured to me. You're predators, both of you, and predators need to be stopped before they hurt someone else. The room was absolutely silent. Officer Martinez's partner stepped forward. Mr. Thornton, we've been reviewing your business accounts, the offshore transfers, the signature authorizations. We have evidence of embezzlement and conspiracy. You need to come with us. Marcus looked around wildly, at Sarah, at the crowd, at the exits blocked by police. This is a setup. He's lying. Your own bank records don't lie, the officer said. Turn around, please. They handcuffed him, read him his rights. The crowd watched in stunned silence as they led him through the venue, past the white roses, past the string lights, past the wedding that would never be. Sarah tried to run. Rebecca caught her arm. You're not going anywhere. The police want to talk to you too. Let go of me. Sarah yanked free, stumbled in her wedding dress. The veil caught on a chair and tore. She looked at me, desperate. Daniel, please, I loved you. I really did. The rest was just theft, I said quietly. Just fraud, just you and Marcus planning to steal my inheritance and disappear. I wasn't going to disappear. I was going to stay married to you, at least for a few years. She was sobbing now, makeup destroyed, dress wrinkled. Nothing elegant left, just desperation. Doesn't that count for something? No, I said. It doesn't. Officer Martinez took her arm gently but firmly. Come on, Ms. Williams, let's go. They led her out. The room stayed silent until the doors closed behind them. Then everyone started talking at once. Sarah's father approached me slowly. His face was ashen. Mr. Caldwell, Daniel, I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. Yes, I do. He looked at where his daughter had stood minutes before. My daughter, I didn't raise her to be this. I don't know where we went wrong, but his voice broke. You would have been a good son-in-law. You deserved better than this. He walked away following his wife, who was already crying in the parking lot. The guests filtered out. Some stopped to shake my hand. Others avoided eye contact, embarrassed by the spectacle. My father stood by the altar, holding my grandmother's ring, tears streaming down his face. Dad, your mother would be so proud of you, he said, standing up for yourself, protecting what's yours, protecting what she built. He pulled me into a hug. I'm so sorry, son. So sorry you had to go through this. I'm okay. No, you're not. Not yet. But you will be. He squeezed tighter. You're stronger than I ever was. Stronger than all of us. An hour later, most people had left. I stood alone in the venue, surrounded by white roses and unused wedding favors. The projector was still on, showing the evidence slide, proof that my life had almost been stolen. Daniel, I turned. Emily, Sarah's younger sister, 13 years old, still in her junior bridesmaid dress. Her eyes were red from crying. Emily, you should go home. I can't. She walked toward me, hands clenched. Not until She stopped, pulled something from her pocket. The bracelet I'd given her 3 months ago. Silver chain with a tiny book charm because she loved reading. She held it out. I can't keep this. Not after what Sarah did. It wouldn't be right. My heart broke a little more. Emily, I knew, she whispered. I knew Sarah was lying about something. I heard her on the phone sometimes, talking to someone in a different voice, colder, meaner, and I should have told you. I should have warned you. Tears streamed down her face. This child, carrying guilt that wasn't hers. I knelt down to her level, took the bracelet from her hand. This is yours. You keep it. But you're not her, Emily. You never will be. I put the bracelet back in her palm, closed her fingers around it. What your sister did has nothing to do with you. You're kind. You're honest. You're exactly who you should be." "I'm sorry," she sobbed. "I'm so sorry." I pulled her into a hug, let her cry. This girl who'd done nothing wrong, but was caught in the blast radius of her sister's choices. "It's okay," I said quietly. "You're okay." Her mother appeared in the doorway. Sarah's mother, a woman who'd welcomed me as a son, who'd planned this wedding with joy, who'd just watched her daughter exposed as a criminal. She looked at me, holding her youngest daughter. Her face crumpled. "I'm taking Emily home," she said. Her voice was hollow. "But I needed to tell you." She stopped, started again. "You saved us. From something worse. From watching this happen and not knowing. From being complicit in her lies." She walked over, pulled Emily gently away. Then she did something I didn't expect. She hugged me. "Thank you," she whispered, "for showing us the truth before it was too late. My daughter? I don't know her. I thought I did. But I know you, and you deserved better." She pulled back, looked at me with red eyes. "Whatever happens next, whatever she faces, it's what she earned, not what you did to her." They left together, mother and daughter, leaving the shattered remains of a family behind. Sometimes the family that hurts you wasn't yours to begin with. And sometimes the people who choose you, who fight for you, matter more than blood. 6 months later, October, autumn in the city, leaves turning gold and red. I stood in a small office space downtown, new furniture, still smelling of paint and possibility. A sign on the door, Foundation for Inheritance Protection. It wasn't a real foundation, not officially, not yet. But it would be. I'd taken half of my inheritance, the half that Sarah had tried to steal, and created something good from it, a non-profit. Resources for people to recognize financial manipulation before marriage, free legal consultations, educational workshops, a hotline for people who suspected they were being targeted. Rebecca was on the board, Catherine Harlow too. She'd volunteered immediately. "I want to make sure no one else pays what I paid," she'd said. Jennifer, my wedding planner, had donated her services. "I'll help people plan real weddings," she'd said with a smile. "The kind that actually happen." The office was small, just 3 rooms, but it was a start. On the wall, a framed letter, cream-colored stationery, handwriting slanting right. My mother's words, preserved and honored. "Real love doesn't cost you everything, Danny. It gives you everything that matters." Next to it, the official nonprofit certificate, filed with the state, legal, real, permanent. I kept my mother's letter. I built the foundation. I learned that love, real love, doesn't cost you everything. The door opened. Emily walked in, carrying a backpack. 14 now, taller. She'd stayed in touch over the months, texting occasionally. Her parents had divorced. Her mother couldn't forgive her father for raising Sarah that way. Emily was living with her mom. "Hey," I said, "you made it. You said you needed volunteers." She set down her backpack. "I can help on weekends, filing, answering phones, whatever you need. You don't have to." "Yes, I do." She looked at the framed letter on the wall. "Your mom wrote that." "Yeah. It's beautiful." She touched the silver bracelet on her wrist, still wearing it. "I want to help other people, people like you, who almost lost everything to someone like my sister." I smiled. "Welcome to the team." She smiled back. Real. No performance. Just a kid trying to make something good from something terrible. Sarah and Marcus were both charged with fraud and embezzlement. Sarah took a plea deal, 3 years probation, restitution of $47,000 to the business, community service. No jail time, but a permanent record. Marcus went to trial, fought it, lost. He got 2 years in prison and 5 years probation. His attorney license revoked. His life effectively over. I felt nothing watching them sentenced. No satisfaction, no revenge, just closure. They'd made choices. Now they lived with consequences. I'd made choices too. To document instead of react. To expose instead of hide. To build instead of destroy. December, a year after my mother died. I visited her grave on the anniversary. The headstone was simple. Her name, her dates, a line at the bottom. She gave everything that mattered. I brought flowers, white roses, the ones that were supposed to be at my wedding. "Hey, Mom," I said quietly. "I kept your letter, built the foundation, Helped 47 people so far. 47 people who recognize the signs because of what happened to me. The wind rustled through trees, cold December air. Sarah's gone, Marcus is gone, but I'm still here, and I'm okay, more than okay. I touched the headstone. You were right, real love doesn't cost everything. It gives. I left the roses, walked back to my car. On the passenger seat, an invitation. Emily's 9th grade art show. She'd made a painting, abstract but beautiful. Reds and golds and blues swirling together. She'd titled it, Found Family. I was in that painting somewhere. Rebecca, Catherine, Jennifer, people who'd chosen to help, people who'd fought for truth when it mattered. Not blood family, found family, the family that chooses you back. I started the car, drove through the city, past the venue where my wedding never happened, past the office building where Marcus used to work, past the apartment where Sarah used to live. All of it behind me now. All of it part of a story I survived. I pulled up to the foundation office. Emily was already there, waiting outside with her mother, both of them smiling. Ready? Emily asked. Ready, I said. We went inside, turned on the lights, started the work. Building something good, something real, something that honored what my mother had built and what I'd nearly lost. Real love doesn't cost you everything. It gives you everything that matters, and that truth was worth fighting for. If you've survived something similar, if you've found your chosen family, if you've learned that the people who love you don't cost you everything, share your story below. Tell me about the person who chose you back, the person who fought for truth when it mattered, the person who reminded you what real love looks like. We build this foundation together, one story at a time, one truth at a time. Stay safe, trust your gut, and remember, you're stronger than you know.